Okay, so now that we have a simple app, we want to expand it to do a little bit more. Let's zoom out. And what we need to do is add another view controller so that we can make this a more complicated app. Again, I want landscape mode. If you want portrait mode, then you don't have to do anything. That's one view. Let's add another screen. And now we have two views. And you'll want to add your image background again for both of these, for your background. And it's not letting me do that. The other way of doing this is to drag it directly into the view. And now we can click on our image view. And we can select our background. If you have different backgrounds, by all means, use your other backgrounds. And again, if you want to pin these or constrain them, and add your constraints. And we'll add constraints to this one. And that's done. So let's make this button. So you go to screen 1. And we can copy this button and paste it. And we'll call this screen 2. We can add a label to this. Call it the main screen. You will call it something else. Let's go over to this screen. Add this label in. And these guides tell you when something is centered. And this is screen 1. Let's make this bigger. If you're having trouble selecting things, you can always use the direct select. And we want that centered. That looks better. And I'm just going to check this one. And we want that centered. Let's just, yeah, that's centered now. Okay, we'll want to add a button on here to go back. We want the size to be the same as the other one for a consistent look. And using hard numbers like this, is better than using the slider to make a consistent look. And for now, we'll just say back to main. And we can copy this one. Copy and paste. And we don't actually want it on that one. We want it on this screen. Let's copy this label and paste into this screen. And we'll call this screen 2. And again, you can make the navigation as easy or as complicated as you like. So let's go here. Select that button, and we want to connect this button to this screen and use modal. Okay? And close that. That's not a delete button, that's just a close button. And we want to connect the main to screen 2 and modal again. And close that. And we'll connect this back to main, back that way. And we'll take this one and connect this back to the main. And let's run the app. Screen 1, back to main. Screen 2, back to main. Now the only problem is that these are not buttons. And the problem with these buttons is we have not set the background image. So let's set the background image to button. And select that one and select the background image to button. And let's run that again. Screen 1, back to main. Screen 2, back to main. Now I can see that screen 1 is not centered and main is not centered. And I see another problem. This label hasn't been changed to screen 2. Okay, to center this, we'll need a different kind of constraint. This is an alignment constraint. And we'll want to select that first. We'll need to do a horizontal center constraint. Same for this one. And the same for this one. Now we can run this. Screen 1, screen 2. And all our labels are correct. All our centering is correct. And we need to check one more thing before we finish. We'll need to check this on the 4-inch iPhone. And everything's centered. Screen 1, that's centered. Screen 2, that's centered. And that concludes this portion of the tutorial.